2026 Volkswagen Beetle. Yes, the people's car is back, but this time it's smarter, sleeker, and more futuristic than ever before. The Beetle isn't just a nostalgia piece. It's Volkswagen's statement about blending heritage with innovation, a car that respects its past while driving full speed into the future. So, let's take a detailed look at the all-new 2026 Volkswagen Beetle. From its eye-catching exterior, stylish interior, and tech-packed features, to its performance, driving experience, and of course, the price that makes it so tempting. Starting with the exterior, the 2026 Beetle holds on to its legendary rounded silhouette, but with a futuristic twist. It's instantly recognizable as a Beetle, yet every curve and contour has been sharpened to meet modern aerodynamic standards. The front end gets a clean, minimalist design with sleek LED matrix headlights that form a continuous light bar across the hood, giving it a smiling yet confident face. The front bumper has been sculpted for better airflow, and Volkswagen's illuminated logo at the center adds that premium electric touch. Moving to the sides, you'll notice flush door handles, dynamic alloy wheel designs up to 20 inches, and smooth flowing lines that keep the retro charm alive while improving efficiency. The rear of the car is arguably its most striking angle, with a full-width LED taillight strip, an active spoiler that deploys at speed, and a bold new Beetle badge that glows softly at night. Volkswagen even included a two-tone roof option, letting buyers choose between sporty or classic looks. The Beetle's compact form remains perfect for city life, but with a wider stance and lower profile, it now looks ready for highways too. Inside, the 2026 Beetle is where vintage soul meets cutting-edge technology. The cabin greets you with a modern yet familiar layout. Volkswagen has cleverly integrated design cues from the original Beetle, like the rounded dashboard edges and chrome details, into a futuristic digital cockpit. The centerpiece is a massive 15-inch floating infotainment screen that supports the latest Volkswagen OS 4.0, offering seamless integration with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and over-the-air updates. The driver gets a customizable 12-inch digital instrument cluster, giving all vital driving info in crisp detail. Ambient lighting wraps around the cabin with up to 30 color options. And there's even a nostalgic classic mode, where the digital screens mimic the old analog Beetle gauges. The seats are plush and ergonomic, upholstered in eco-friendly vegan leather with recycled fabric inserts, a nod to Volkswagen's commitment to sustainability. Front passengers get heated and ventilated seats, while the rear seats offer surprising legroom for a compact car. The panoramic glass roof adds an airy feel, and the sound insulation has been greatly improved for a more refined drive. Storage has also been cleverly designed, with more space under the front hood and modular compartments inside. Even the door panels feature hidden ambient lights shaped like the original Beetle's silhouette, a subtle but emotional detail that fans will appreciate. Now let's talk about performance. The 2026 Volkswagen Beetle is built on the company's latest MEB Plus electric platform, which also underpins the ID series. This new Beetle is fully electric, offering two main variants: the standard Beetle eDrive and the Beetle GT Performance Edition. The base model comes with a single rear-mounted motor producing around 210 horsepower, while the GT version packs a dual-motor all-wheel drive setup with 320 horsepower and instant torque delivery. The 0 to 60 mph time is around 6.3 seconds for the GT, making it not just cute but genuinely quick. The battery pack options include 58 kWh and 77 kWh, delivering an impressive range of between 280 to 360 miles on a single charge, depending on configuration. Fast charging capability lets it go from 10% to 80% in about 25 minutes at a 200 kWh charger. Volkswagen has also worked hard on the Beetle's driving dynamics. The low center of gravity and improved weight distribution make it agile and planted, especially in corners. The steering feels more direct, and with regenerative braking adjustable through the paddle shifters, it offers both fun and efficiency in daily drives. The suspension strikes a fine balance between comfort and sportiness, making the Beetle equally enjoyable in city streets or open highways. For those who still love the sound of engines, Volkswagen even added an optional heritage sound mode, which uses speakers to simulate the classic Beetle engine note, blending nostalgia with the future. The GT model also includes a sport-tuned suspension, larger brakes, and a selectable drive mode system that lets drivers switch between eco, comfort, and sport. Whether you're cruising downtown or taking a spirited weekend drive, the new Beetle adapts seamlessly. Safety is another strong point. The 2026 Beetle comes with Volkswagen's IQ Drive Suite, which includes adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, automatic emergency braking, blind spot detection, and even a semi-autonomous driving mode for highways. Parking sensors, 360-degree cameras, and auto park assist make maneuvering in tight spaces effortless. Volkswagen also offers an optional augmented reality head-up display, projecting navigation and driving data directly onto the windshield. It's these futuristic touches that make the Beetle stand out in the modern EV crowd. In terms of pricing, Volkswagen aims to make the Beetle a stylish yet accessible EV for the masses. The base e-Drive model starts at around $34,000, while the high-performance GT edition goes up to about $47,000, depending on options. That puts it in direct competition with cars like the Mini Cooper SE, Fiat 500e, and even the Tesla Model 3 entry-level variant. Considering its design, range, and brand heritage, the 2026 Beetle offers a compelling value proposition. Volkswagen is also offering various trim packages, including retro, urban, and sportline, allowing customers to personalize their Beetle's vibe, charging infrastructure support from Volkswagen's own network and compatibility with Tesla's NACS connector make long-distance travel easier than ever. Owners can also use the VW mobile app to precondition the cabin, schedule charging, or track real-time battery status. Sustainability goes beyond the electric drive train. The factory where the Beetle is built uses renewable energy and carbon-neutral materials throughout the production process, ensuring the car is green from design to delivery. So, what's the verdict? The 2026 Volkswagen Beetle is not just a revival of a classic, it's a redefinition. It stays true to its roots as the people's car while embracing the electric revolution. With its blend of iconic design, modern comfort, impressive range, and fun-to-drive performance, it's both a tribute to history and a step toward the future. Volkswagen has managed to capture the soul of the original Beetle, the friendliness, the character, the simplicity, and evolve it into something relevant for the new generation of drivers. If you loved the Beetle of the past, you'll absolutely adore this new one. It's practical, emotional, and futuristic, a rare combination in today's market. The Beetle is officially back, and it's ready to make the world smile again. Thanks for watching MVP Road Car. If you enjoyed this detailed review of the 2026 Volkswagen Beetle, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest car reviews. Drop a comment below and tell us, would you drive the new Beetle or stick to the classics? Until next time, keep your wheels spinning and your passion alive. This is MVP Road Car, signing off. The 2026 Cadillac Eldorado. This legendary nameplate has returned, and Cadillac has done something truly remarkable. They've combined the old-school class and presence of the classic Eldorado with futuristic technology, electrification, and craftsmanship that sets a new standard for modern luxury. So buckle up as we take a deep look at the exterior, interior, performance, and pricing of the all-new 2026 Cadillac Eldorado. Starting off with the exterior. The 2026 Eldorado is a bold statement of elegance and power. Cadillac has blended its heritage design language with a futuristic twist. The long, sculpted hood and stretched rear end give it that unmistakable Grand Tourer silhouette, reminiscent of the original Eldorado models. Up front, the signature vertical LED lighting makes an immediate impression. It's sleek, sophisticated, and very Cadillac. The front grille isn't your typical open-air mesh. Instead, it's a digital panel that lights up with animation when you approach or start the car. A beautiful touch that shows off Cadillac's innovation. The side profile is where the car truly commands attention. Smooth flowing lines run across the doors, emphasizing the car's length and presence. Flush door handles sit seamlessly with the bodywork, popping out when you approach. Depending on the trim level, you get massive 22-inch alloy wheels with an intricate pattern that screams luxury. Around back, the taillights are a work of art, long vertical blades that light up like a futuristic sculpture. The Eldorado name is proudly displayed in bold lettering across the trunk, and a subtle integrated spoiler adds both aerodynamic performance and style. The overall design captures that perfect balance between retro inspiration and forward-thinking design. It looks like a car that could easily headline a movie, combining elegance, presence, and attitude. Now, stepping inside, the interior of the 2026 Cadillac Eldorado is where things get truly impressive. Cadillac has gone all out to create an experience that rivals European luxury brands and even surpasses many of them in terms of comfort and technology. The cabin feels more like a first-class lounge than a car interior. You're immediately greeted by a massive curved OLED display that stretches across the dashboard, merging the digital instrument cluster and infotainment system into one fluid piece of glass. The graphics are crisp, colors vibrant, and it responds instantly to touch and voice commands. Every surface you touch feels premium. Cadillac offers multiple interior themes, from classic leather and wood combinations to modern brushed aluminum and suede finishes. The seats are incredibly supportive, featuring 30-way adjustability, heating, ventilation, and massage functions for both front occupants. Even the rear passengers enjoy nearly the same level of luxury, with heated and cooled seats, individual climate zones, and fold-down entertainment screens built into the seat backs. Ambient lighting flows throughout the cabin, customizable in dozens of colors, creating a serene atmosphere for night drives. Sound insulation is another highlight. Cadillac has used advanced acoustic glass and noise cancellation technology to make the Eldorado's cabin whisper quiet, even at highway speeds. The audio system, a 40-speaker AKG premium setup, delivers studio-level sound quality. Whether you're listening to jazz, rock, or a podcast, it feels like a live concert right inside the car. Another standout feature is the panoramic glass roof with adjustable tinting, allowing you to choose between full sunlight or complete privacy at the touch of a button. Technology doesn't end there. The Eldorado comes equipped with Cadillac's latest Super Cruise 2.0, a hands-free driving system that now works on over 1 million miles of mapped roads across North America. It handles steering, braking, and acceleration, making long trips stress-free. There's also a full 360-degree camera system, augmented reality navigation that projects directional arrows on the windshield, and biometric access that recognizes your face and automatically adjusts your settings. Cadillac clearly wants to redefine what American luxury means in the modern era, and the 2026 Eldorado proves it's possible. When it comes to performance, Cadillac gives buyers a choice between two powerhouse setups. The standard model comes with a twin-turbocharged 4.0-liter V8 hybrid, producing around 590 horsepower and 640 lb-ft of torque. This engine delivers effortless acceleration, taking the Eldorado from 0 to 60 mph in about 3.9 seconds, while still offering improved fuel economy compared to traditional V8s thanks to the mild hybrid assistance. Power is sent to all four wheels through a 10-speed automatic transmission that shifts smoothly and precisely. For those who want something even more futuristic, Cadillac also offers a fully electric version under the Ultium platform, similar to what powers the Celestiq. This electric Eldorado delivers over 750 horsepower and a mind-blowing 950 lb-ft of torque. With instant electric response, it rockets from 0 to 60 in just 3.2 seconds, supercar territory. But it does so in complete silence. The range is equally impressive, offering around 430 miles on a full charge. And with $350 DC fast charging, you can gain over 200 miles of range in just 15 minutes. Driving the Eldorado feels like piloting a cloud that can transform into a rocket whenever you want. The adaptive air suspension continuously adjusts to road conditions, providing a smooth, floating ride when you want comfort, or tightening up for confident handling when you switch to sport mode. Rear-wheel steering improves agility, making this large coupe surprisingly nimble in tight corners or parking lots. Cadillac's engineers have fine-tuned this car to deliver both performance and refinement in equal measure. something few brands truly achieve. Braking performance is also top-notch, thanks to large Brembo brakes and regenerative systems that help recover energy in the electric model. The steering feels precise yet relaxed, giving the driver a sense of control and serenity that defines the Eldorado experience. Whether you're gliding through city streets or cruising down the highway, this car delivers pure confidence and sophistication. Now let's talk about pricing. Cadillac positions the 2026 Eldorado as a flagship luxury grand tourer, and the price reflects that status. The base hybrid V8 model starts around $115,000, while the top-of-the-line electric version pushes closer to $165,000, depending on custom options. Cadillac allows buyers to personalize nearly every aspect, from exterior colors to interior materials, so it's easy for the price to climb beyond $180,000 for a fully loaded model. But when you compare it to other luxury GTs from brands like Bentley or Mercedes-Maybach, the Eldorado actually offers incredible value, blending heritage, performance, and cutting-edge tech in one stunning package. Overall, the 2026 Cadillac Eldorado is a masterpiece, a symbol of how far American luxury has come. It's bold, elegant, and unapologetically confident. It brings back the soul of the classic Eldorado with a futuristic spirit that feels right for this generation. From the exquisite design to the serene interior and breathtaking performance, Cadillac has created a car that doesn't just compete globally, it stands out proudly on its own terms. If you're looking for a grand tour that turns heads, pampers you in comfort, and delivers thrilling performance without sacrificing sophistication, the 2026 Cadillac Eldorado is an absolute dream come true. Cadillac has truly revived a legend for the modern age, proving that American luxury is alive, well, and more exciting than ever. Thanks for watching MVP Road Car. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2026 Cadillac Eldorado, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our latest car reviews and updates. Until next time, keep driving in style. This is MVP Road Car signing off. The 2026 Dodge Viper. Yes, you heard that right. The legendary American supercar that defined raw muscle and unapologetic performance has made its return, and Dodge has pulled out all the stops to make sure this new generation isn't just about nostalgia, it's about domination. So buckle up because we're taking a full walk around, exploring the exterior, interior, performance, and pricing details of the 2026 Dodge Viper to see if it truly lives up to its venomous name. Right from the first glance, the 2026 Viper grabs your attention with its aggressive stance. Dodge has kept that long hood, short deck proportion that's been a Viper trademark since the 90s, but everything's been sharpened, modernized, and sculpted for aerodynamics. The new front fascia is lower and meaner, featuring active aero elements, a first for the Viper. The hood now has massive functional vents that channel air over the fenders and reduce lift at high speeds. The headlights are sleeker with full LED matrix technology that gives it a piercing look at night. From the side, you'll notice muscular fenders that wrap tightly around new lightweight forged wheels. 20 inches in the front, 21 in the back. They're wrapped in bespoke Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires for maximum grip. The lines flow beautifully from the nose to the tail, creating an organic but menacing profile. Around the rear, Dodge has gone all out. A massive carbon fiber rear wing dominates the view, complemented by a functional diffuser and center-mounted exhausts that roar like thunder. Every surface has a purpose. The entire body was wind tunnel tested to enhance downforce without compromising top speed. And depending on the trim you choose, there are lightweight carbon body panels and even an optional track-focused aero kit that adds even more aggression. The 2026 Viper sits on a completely re-engineered chassis made primarily from aluminum and carbon fiber composites. Dodge wanted to shed weight wherever possible, and the result is a curb weight of just under 3,400 pounds. That's lighter than many modern supercars. The new suspension setup features adaptive dampers that can switch from street comfort to full-on track stiffness in milliseconds. The car rides lower, wider, and stiffer, giving it incredible stability through corners. Even before we talk performance numbers, you can tell this car means business. Step inside, and the transformation continues. The interior of the 2026 Viper is a massive leap forward compared to its predecessors. Gone are the days of the basic track-only cabin. Now it feels like a proper high-performance luxury cockpit. The moment you open the door, you're greeted by Alcantara and carbon fiber everywhere. The seats are racing-style buckets from Sabelt, but surprisingly comfortable for long drives. They feature power adjustments, memory settings, and optional heating and cooling. The steering wheel is thick, flat-bottomed, and covered in suede, with integrated drive mode selectors and paddle shifters mounted right where you want them. In front of the driver is a fully digital 12-inch instrument cluster that changes layout based on your driving mode, track, sport, or street. It displays everything from G-forces to lap times, boost pressure, and even tire temperature. The center console houses a large 13-inch touchscreen running the latest Uconnect 6 system. It's fast, intuitive, and supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also get a premium 14-speaker Harman Kardon sound system for those moments when you're not listening to the V10 Symphony. Yes, you heard that right. Dodge has kept the V10 alive, and that alone deserves respect. The materials inside the cabin feel top-notch. There's real metal on the switches, soft touch surfaces throughout, and hand-stitched leather options for those who want a more refined look. Dodge has clearly aimed to make the Viper not just a track monster, but also a supercar you can enjoy on the daily drive. Visibility is improved too, thanks to slimmer pillars and a rear-view camera system that offers a 360-degree view. The driving position remains low and centered, exactly what you want in a car built to hug corners and stretch straightaways. Now let's talk about what really matters: performance. Under that long sculpted hood sits a reworked 8.4-liter naturally aspirated V10 engine. But this isn't just a carryover. Dodge has tuned and refined it for the new era. The 2026 Viper produces a jaw-dropping 720 horsepower and 640 pound-feet of torque. Power is sent exclusively to the rear wheels through a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, another first for the Viper lineup. Dodge claims a 0 to 60 mph time of just 2.9 seconds with a top speed north of 210 miles per hour. That's supercar territory, putting it right up there with the Corvette ZR1 and even flirting with European exotics like the Ferrari 812 and Lamborghini Huracan Technica. But the magic of the Viper has always been its driving feel, that raw, mechanical connection between man and machine. Dodge has tuned the new electronic systems to enhance that sensation, not numb it. The steering is hydraulic-assisted, not fully electronic, giving real feedback through the wheel. The suspension's adaptive nature means it's equally at home carving through mountain roads or attacking apexes on a racetrack. The brakes are massive carbon ceramic rotors, 16 inches up front, paired with Brembo 6-piston calipers that stop the car from 60 mph in under 100 feet. It's savage, it's precise, and it feels alive in your hands. On the track, early test drives report that the 2026 Viper corners flatter, accelerates harder, and feels more balanced than any version before it. The improved aerodynamics and wider track give it immense grip, while the chassis keeps it predictable even when you push it to the limit. It's not a car for beginners. It demands respect, but it rewards skilled drivers with an experience that's almost analog in today's digital world. Fuel economy? Well, it's a V10. Nobody's buying a Viper for that. You can expect around 13 mpg city and 21 highway, but honestly, that's a small price to pay for something this thrilling. What's more interesting is how Dodge has managed to integrate modern efficiency systems like cylinder deactivation and lightweight components to make it a bit more livable than before. Now, let's move to the question everyone's waiting for: the price. Dodge has positioned the 2026 Viper smartly. The base model, simply called the Viper RT, starts around $135,000. That gets you the full 720 horsepower engine, adaptive suspension, and a decent list of comfort features. Step up to the Viper GTS, priced around $160,000, and you get more luxurious materials, upgraded aero, and track calibration. Finally, the top-tier Viper ACR, the most hardcore version, starts just under $190,000. That model comes stripped for track duty, with carbon aero kits, racing harnesses, and an even lighter chassis. Compared to European supercars with similar performance, the Viper remains a bargain, offering pure American muscle and character for far less money. Dodge has also teased a limited Viper Venom edition, only 500 units worldwide, featuring exclusive paint options, serialized plaques, and a few extra horsepower. Expect that one to sell out instantly among collectors. So what's the verdict? The 2026 Dodge Viper isn't just a comeback, it's a statement. It proves that the spirit of the old-school supercar can still exist in a modern world dominated by hybrids and electric drivetrains. It's loud, it's wild, and it's absolutely unapologetic about being a driver's machine. Dodge has managed to evolve the Viper without diluting its essence, a feat that deserves applause. Whether you're a longtime fan of the snake or someone discovering it for the first time, the new Viper delivers a visceral thrill that few cars on the planet can match. It's part sculpture, part beast, and all heart. That's our full detailed review of the 2026 Dodge Viper, a car that bites back in all the right ways. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to MVP Road Car, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you pick the new Viper over something like the Corvette ZR1 or even a European rival? I'd love to hear your take. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep those engines roaring and your passion for cars alive. The 2026 Pontiac GTO. That's right. The legendary muscle car is back, reimagined for a new generation. It's bold, powerful, and packed with technology, yet it still manages to capture that raw American spirit that made the GTO name iconic. So buckle up, because we're going for a full detailed review. The exterior, interior, performance, and pricing, and by the end, you'll know whether this new GTO is worthy of its badge. First impressions matter. And Pontiac clearly knew that when they designed this car. The exterior of the 2026 GTO looks aggressive but refined, like a modern muscle car that's grown up. The front end is dominated by a wide, menacing grille, finished in a dark mesh pattern with a bold GTO emblem right at the center. The LED headlights are sleek and angular, with a dynamic light signature that almost looks alive when you unlock the car. The hood features dual heat extractor vents, giving it that muscle-bound presence while also helping cool the engine bay. Moving along the sides, you can't help but notice the muscular fenders and that perfect stance. The proportions are spot on. Long hood, short rear deck, and a low-slung roofline that screams performance. The body lines are sharp but purposeful, giving the GTO a sense of motion even when it's standing still. You've got massive 20-inch alloy wheels as standard, with optional 21s if you want a more aggressive look. Around back, the quad exhaust tips and a subtle carbon fiber lip spoiler complete the picture. The taillights pay homage to the classic GTO of the late 60s with a modern twist, thin LED strips that wrap around the rear, creating a distinctive nighttime signature. Every element of this exterior design seems to blend heritage with innovation, and that's what makes it stand out in a crowded field of performance cars. Now stepping inside, the new GTO's interior shows just how far Pontiac has come with modern luxury and craftsmanship. The cabin feels premium from the moment you open the door. The first thing you notice is the driver-focused layout. The cockpit wraps around you, making you feel connected to the car even before you hit the start button. Soft-touch leather surfaces, brushed aluminum accents, and carbon fiber trim create a blend of comfort and sportiness. The seats are heavily bolstered sport buckets wrapped in Napa leather with contrast stitching and optional Alcantara inserts. They're not just stylish, they're designed to keep you planted during hard cornering. The steering wheel is flat-bottomed with a GTO logo in the center, offering a thick, comfortable grip. Behind it, a fully digital 12.3-inch instrument cluster provides crisp graphics and customizable layouts. You can switch between classic analog dials, performance readouts, or a minimalist design for highway cruising. The infotainment system is a large 14-inch touchscreen running Pontiac's latest UI, with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and built-in navigation. It's fast, intuitive, and integrates seamlessly with the digital cluster for a cohesive experience. You'll also find a head-up display projecting speed, revs, and navigation directly onto the windshield, a subtle reminder that this is more than just a straight-line muscle car. It's a performance machine built for drivers. Ambient lighting runs across the dashboard and doors, allowing you to set the mood with a range of colors. And yes, there's a premium 14-speaker Bose sound system that delivers crystal-clear audio. Though, let's be honest, the real soundtrack comes from that engine. Speaking of engines, let's talk performance, because this is where the 2026 GTO truly shines. Under the hood sits a 6.2-liter twin-turbocharged V8, producing a jaw-dropping 640 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. Pontiac wanted to balance old-school muscle with modern engineering, and they nailed it. The power delivery is instant, with a deep, throaty exhaust note that turns heads everywhere you go. The car rockets from 0 to 60 in just 3.2 seconds, and if you've got the nerve, it'll keep pushing past 200 miles per hour. But the GTO isn't just about brute force anymore. It's refined. The 10-speed automatic transmission shifts seamlessly, with lightning-fast response times, and if you prefer to take control, there are aluminum paddle shifters mounted right behind the steering wheel. The chassis has been engineered from the ground up for performance, with adaptive magnetic suspension that constantly adjusts to road conditions. In comfort mode, it soaks up bumps effortlessly, but switch to track mode and the car transforms. Tighter, sharper, more focused. The steering feels alive, with excellent feedback that gives you confidence through corners. All this power means nothing without control, and Pontiac clearly took that to heart. The GTO features an advanced all-wheel drive system with rear bias tuning, allowing for maximum grip without sacrificing the fun of a traditional muscle car. There's even a drift mode for those who want to let the rear end step out in a controlled, smoky slide. The braking system is equally impressive. Massive Brembo calipers bite down on carbon ceramic rotors, giving you fade-free stopping power every time. Whether you're carving up canyon roads or tearing down a drag strip, the new GTO feels planted, balanced, and brutally fast. Pontiac also worked on making this car usable for everyday driving. The ride quality is surprisingly comfortable, and the cabin is well insulated from road noise, except for that glorious exhaust note that sneaks through just enough to remind you what's under the hood. Fuel economy obviously isn't its strongest suit, but with cylinder deactivation and mild hybrid assistance, you can still get around 22 miles per gallon combined, which isn't bad for something this powerful. Now, let's talk pricing, because that's where things get really interesting. The base model GTO starts at around $72,000, which already includes the full performance setup, the V8 engine, adaptive suspension, and premium interior. Step up to the GTO RS trim, and you're looking at roughly $85,000, adding upgraded brakes, lightweight carbon body panels, and a sport exhaust system. The top-of-the-line GTO Black Edition pushes the price to just under $100,000, but that gives you every option imaginable. Full carbon fiber aero kit, 21-inch forged wheels, suede interior trim, and an exclusive two-tone paint finish. Considering what it offers in performance, luxury, and technology, that's a compelling price point compared to European competitors that can easily cost twice as much. Pontiac also hinted at an all-electric version coming later, something around 2027, but for now, this V8 monster reminds everyone why people fell in love with muscle cars in the first place. It's raw yet refined, nostalgic yet futuristic. The sound, the feel, the design, it all comes together in a way that feels like a true resurrection of an American legend. The 2026 Pontiac GTO isn't just another revival or a nameplate cash grab. It's a statement. It says that American muscle can evolve. It can embrace technology, improve handling, and still deliver that visceral thrill that makes driving fun. From its sculpted exterior to its luxurious interior and mind-blowing performance, the new GTO manages to bridge generations. It appeals to those who remember the old GTO roaring down the streets, and it excites a new wave of drivers looking for something with character and attitude in an increasingly sanitized car market. So, is the 2026 Pontiac GTO the perfect modern muscle car? For many, it just might be. It's powerful without being crude, stylish without being overdone, and modern without forgetting its roots. It's proof that the spirit of the GTO lives on. Only this time, it's smarter, faster, and meaner than ever. That's all for today's deep dive on the 2026 Pontiac GTO. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, subscribe for more car content, and drop a comment below telling us what you think of this new GTO revival. Would you take it over a Camaro ZL1 or a Challenger Hellcat? Let us know. I'm curious to see where you stand. Thanks for watching MVP Road Car. And as always, keep those engines roaring. The 2026 Ford Mustang GT, a car that's carrying the torch of American muscle into a new era. Ford has managed to balance the heritage of raw V8 power with a touch of modern sophistication. And in this review, we'll explore every angle, from its striking exterior and high-tech interior to its heart-pounding performance and what kind of dent it might leave in your wallet. Let's start with first impressions. Because the moment you see the 2026 Mustang GT, you can tell it's evolved without losing that classic Mustang soul. The front end is aggressive and wide, with a bolder grille design that gives it an unmistakable presence. The new tri-bar LED headlights have been reshaped to look meaner and sharper, almost like the car is glaring back at you. The hood sits low but muscular, featuring functional heat extractors that not only look cool, but also help manage airflow and temperature for the big V8 underneath. Ford has kept the fastback profile intact, giving the car that long, flowing roofline that's instantly recognizable. From the side, the sculpted lines have been refined, especially around the rear haunches where the fenders flare out beautifully, emphasizing the car's stance. Around back, you get the signature 3-bar taillights, but this time they're more dynamic with a sweeping animation when you use the turn signals. The rear diffuser is larger and more functional than before, hinting at the aerodynamic improvements Ford has made. And that quad exhaust setup. It's not just for show. It growls, it snarls, and it announces itself before it even comes into view. Ford also added new wheel designs, with options up to 20 inches, and several new colors that make the GT pop, including a stunning vapor blue and a stealthy carbonized gray that looks downright sinister under the lights. Now, when you step inside, that's where the Mustang really shows how much it's evolved. Gone are the days of purely analog muscle. The 2026 GT's interior blends performance-focused design with digital sophistication. The first thing that grabs your attention is the massive wraparound digital display, a 12.4-inch customizable digital cluster that seamlessly flows into a 13.2-inch center touchscreen powered by Ford's Sync 5 system. The interface feels clean, fast, and futuristic, almost like something out of a fighter jet cockpit. The driving position is spot on, low, commanding, and with excellent visibility over that sculpted hood. The flat-bottom steering wheel has been redesigned with better grip and more intuitive controls. Ford has added soft-touch materials almost everywhere you'd rest your hand, a big step up from earlier generations. You'll find leather-trimmed sports seats with optional Recaro performance buckets for those who plan to take their GT to the track. And for tech lovers, there's wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a premium Bang & Olufsen sound system, and over-the-air software updates that keep the car's systems fresh long after you drive it home. Ford hasn't forgotten the little touches either. Ambient lighting that changes with drive modes, a customizable gauge cluster that lets you switch between classic Mustang dials or a modern minimalist display, and even a new electronic drift brake that's as fun as it sounds. It's clear Ford wanted this car to feel like a true driver's machine while still offering modern comfort and tech convenience. But now let's talk about what everyone really cares about: performance. Under that sculpted hood lives the legendary 5.0-liter Coyote V8 engine, now in its fourth generation. In the 2026 GT, it pumps out a roaring 500 horsepower and around 420 pound-feet of torque. That's a slight bump from the outgoing model, and Ford has fine-tuned the power delivery to make it feel more linear and responsive across the rev range. The sound is glorious, a mix of mechanical growl and exhaust thunder that reminds you why the Mustang name still commands respect. You can choose between a 6-speed manual gearbox, yes, the manual lives on, or a 10-speed automatic that's been recalibrated for quicker, sharper shifts. The manual feels mechanical and engaging, perfect for purists who love to feel every gear. The automatic, on the other hand, delivers impressive performance on both road and track, snapping through gears with precision and keeping the engine right in the sweet spot of its power band. Ford has also refined the chassis. The 2026 Mustang GT sits on an updated version of the S650 platform, and you can feel the improvements in rigidity and handling balance. The car feels tighter, more composed through corners. And the optional MagnaRide adaptive suspension system gives you the best of both worlds: comfort on daily drives and razor-sharp precision when you push it hard. Steering feedback is significantly better, offering real communication between the front tires and your hands. Braking performance has been upgraded too, with larger Brembo brakes available on the Performance Pack. And speaking of that package, it also includes a Torsen-limited slip differential, wider tires, and additional cooling for track use. The result is a car that feels planted, predictable, and incredibly fun. Whether you're carving up mountain roads or doing a few laps on a circuit, the 2026 Mustang GT reminds you that muscle cars can still dance. One of the coolest features is the new remote rev function. Using the key fob, you can actually rev the engine from outside the car. It's pure theater, and you can bet Mustang fans will love showing that off. The exhaust system is active too, letting you adjust between quiet, normal, sport, and track modes. So if you want to leave early for work without waking the neighbors, you can. But when the road opens up, switch it to track and let the V8 sing. Fuel economy isn't the priority here, but Ford claims around 15 miles per gallon city and 24 on the highway for the automatic, which is pretty respectable given the power under the hood. But let's be honest, nobody's buying a Mustang GT for its efficiency. This car is about emotion, experience, and that undeniable sense of freedom you get when the road stretches out ahead of you. Now, what about price? Ford has kept things competitive. The 2026 Mustang GT starts at around $47,000 for the base model with the manual transmission. The automatic adds about $1,500 more, and if you go for the fully loaded premium trim with all the tech, the MagnaRide suspension, and the Performance Pack, you're looking at somewhere around $58,000 to $60,000 depending on options. Considering the level of performance, tech, and design on offer, that's a pretty strong value in today's market. When you look at competitors, cars like the Camaro SS, Dodge Challenger RT Scat Pack, or even the BMW M240i, the Mustang GT manages to hold its ground by offering that rare mix of old-school muscle and modern refinement. It's got the heart of a classic and the brains of a next-gen sports car. So what's the final verdict? The 2026 Ford Mustang GT is more than just a refresh. It's a statement. Ford has shown that you can keep tradition alive while still embracing innovation. The design is bold, the cabin feels futuristic, and the performance is everything you'd want from a Mustang: raw, thrilling, and unapologetically loud. It's a car built not just for the track or the highway, but for the heart of anyone who still believes driving should be an experience, not just a commute. If you're a Mustang loyalist, you'll feel right at home. And if you're new to the world of American muscle, the 2026 GT might just be the car that converts you. With a starting price that makes it accessible and performance that keeps it at the top of its game, the new Mustang GT isn't just a car, it's a living legend, reimagined for the modern age. So that's our deep dive on the 2026 Ford Mustang GT. If you enjoyed the review, make sure to hit that like button, Drop a comment telling us what you think about Ford's latest muscle machine. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another review. This has been MVP Road Car, and as always, keep your engines roaring and your roads open. See you in the next one. (2026) Citroën 2CV. This iconic name from the past has been reimagined for the modern era. And in this review, I'm going to take you through its exterior design, the interior experience, its performance and driving feel, and then wrap up with pricing and value. Let's dive in. Let's start with the exterior. At first glance, you'll recognize the familiar compact silhouette of the original 2CV. The gently arched roof, the rounded lines, the friendly-looking facade that made this car a cultural icon. But this version is obviously reworked for today. The front end retains the cheerful face of the model, with circular headlamps and a modest grille, but modernized with LED lighting and sharper detailing. The body lines are smoother, the panels more refined, and the stance appears slightly broader and more planted compared to the ultra-light minimal originals. Inside the design, you'll spot retro cues like the two-tone paintwork option, simple chrome touches, and even the deux chevaux spirit in the roofline that still arches over the cabin. Yet there are clear modern touches. Larger wheels, aero-optimized mirrors, flush fittings, and better integration of lighting and body coloring. The overall impression is one of cute charm, but with a contemporary sensibility. A car that winks to its heritage and simultaneously says, "I belong in 2026." In terms of proportions, it remains compact, city-friendly, but pleasant. From the side, you'll notice minimal overhangs, a high roofline for practical access, large glass surfaces for visibility, and a personality that pops in urban environments. The rear is equally nice, simple yet charismatic, with a modest boot lid, wraparound glass, and clever subtlety in the tail lamp design. My takeaway: if you're drawn to cars with character, this 2CV nails it. It doesn't try to look futuristic in an aggressive sense. It leans into its heritage and packages that for modern life. For viewers who want something quirky, friendly, and distinctly French in character, the exterior of the 2026 2CV ticks the boxes. Moving on to the interior. What a difference it makes to step inside. Whilst the original 2CV was famously minimalist, bench seats, thin upholstery, a bare-bones dashboard, this new version retains the spirit of simplicity while adding real comfort, smarter materials, and modern features. The cabin layout is clean and uncluttered. You'll still get that airy feel, a high roof, and good visibility through large windows. Materials-wise, Citroën has used soft-touch trims, contrasting stitching, and perhaps a nod to retro textures in fabrics and surface finishes. The seats are comfortable, and though the car remains compact, the space allocation feels efficient and friendly, especially for city driving or short trips. On the tech side, you'll find a modern infotainment screen, connectivity features, digital driver display where appropriate, and likely advanced safety assist systems. While the design is intentionally kept simple to preserve character, it doesn't feel cheap or clumsy. The steering wheel, controls, switches, and paddings all seem up to date. For rear passengers, there is adequate headroom thanks to the high roofline, and legroom is decent for its class. The boot may not be massive, after all, it's a small car, but it's practical enough for everyday use. One clever design decision is that they didn't over-engineer the feel. The minimalism remains part of the charm. So you get a relaxed, friendly cabin rather than the hyper-complex gadget fest many modern cars become. As a result, driving it or riding in it is a pleasant experience. You feel you're in something special, something that honors its past but doesn't compromise modern expectations. For the niche of someone wanting a city car with soul, this interior is a real plus. Now let's talk performance and driving experience. The new 2CV is no longer the ultra-basic machine of decades past. You know, the model that famously could carry a basket of eggs across a plowed field and still keep them intact. Instead, this 2026 version adapts to modern requirements, likely in electric or hybrid form. Many sources indicate a modern electric twist, and tailored for urban mobility, efficiency and fun rather than outright speed. The electric powertrain means you'll benefit from smooth, quiet operation, instant torque, and no gear hunting or fuss. For city driving, that means responsive throttle, easy maneuvering, and a relaxed ride. The high roof, light construction, and suspension tuning, inspired by the original's famously forgiving ride, help create a comfortable ride over broken or uneven road surfaces. That said, don't expect supercar acceleration or track-level handling. The focus is on character, ease, and everyday usability. Steering is likely light and precise, visibility is excellent, and the compact size makes tight spaces a breeze. On longer drives, the car will still hold its own, but you may feel its limitations compared to larger, more performance-oriented vehicles. One nice touch. The 2CV's heritage demanded simplicity, and while the modern model upgrades that hugely, the feeling of ease and personality remains. For drivers who value more than raw speed, who value fun, quirk, nostalgia, this car delivers. In terms of economy and eco-credibility, this version should score well. Low emissions, efficient powertrain, and minimal waste. So if your driving profile is suburban or urban daily commuting with some weekend excursions, the 2026 2CV offers a compelling package. It's not about radical performance, but about charming, accessible mobility. Finally, and importantly, let's go through pricing and value. The exact figures vary by market and specification, but the positioning of this car is interesting. For a name with such heritage, you might expect a premium, but from what we know, it's aimed at the affordable modern classic bracket, a car with personality that won't cost the earth. Reports suggest it will slot between Citroën's smaller models and the mainstream compact segment, aiming at drivers who want something fun, distinctive, and practical without huge cost. If you compare to other small electric or hybrid vehicles, the price-to-feature ratio appears respectable. What you're paying for is more than just transport. You're paying for revival of an icon, for style, for fun. And for many buyers, that emotional value counts. On the flip side, you need to ask, will resale hold its value? Will the small size and niche appeal limit broader market uptake? These are questions to bear in mind. But if you're in the market for a standout city car with retro charm and modern functionality, the value proposition of the 2026 2CV is strong. My verdict, it's priced smartly, it appeals emotionally, and it delivers enough substance. It may not beat out premium models on specification lists, but it doesn't need to. It's about character, not just checklist specs. So to sum up, the 2026 Citroën 2CV is a delightful reimagining of a legend. The exterior nods to the past and brings in modern refinement. The interior offers comfort, simplicity, and charm. The performance is tuned for ease and city usability. The pricing gives you access to a car with heart. If you're looking for something with personality that stands out, that makes you smile, that doesn't take the world too seriously, this is a car to consider. Will it appeal to everyone? Probably not. If you want big space, huge power, luxury finishes, you might look elsewhere. But if you want character and fun for your daily drive, this 2CV hits a sweet spot. Thanks for watching today's review. If you liked this deep dive into the new 2CV, hit that like button, subscribe for more reviews, and let me know in the comments. Would you choose the 2026 Citroën 2CV as your next city car? See you next time on MVP Road Car. Welcome back to MVP Road Car, the place where true automotive passion meets the open road. Today, we're diving deep into something that's been buzzing across the car world. The 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429. This isn't just another muscle car. This is Ford flexing its engineering muscles, paying tribute to its legendary past while propelling the Mustang name into the future with modern performance, precision, and presence. Now, if you've been following the Mustang lineup over the years, you'll know that the Boss 429 is more than just a nameplate. It's an icon, a piece of American performance history. The original Boss 429 debuted back in 1969 as a homologation special built for NASCAR dominance. It had a massive engine shoehorned under the hood and a reputation for being brutally fast. Fast forward to 2026, and Ford has resurrected that legendary badge with a car that redefines what a modern muscle car can be. This is raw power wrapped in sophistication. Let's start with the exterior, because the moment you lay eyes on the 2026 Boss 429, you know it means business. Ford's designers have gone all in to blend retro cues with futuristic design language. The body sits lower and wider than the GT, with an aggressive stance that demands attention. Up front, there's that signature Mustang grille, now reworked with a more angular shark-nose design and an active aerodynamic system that adjusts airflow based on speed and driving mode. The LED headlights are slimmer and more menacing, and the hood features a functional center scoop that pays homage to the original Boss 429 while feeding cool air to that monstrous power plant underneath. Down the sides, you'll notice the muscular haunches and sculpted lines that flow toward the rear, giving it that perfect blend of retro muscle and modern aerodynamics. Ford's use of lightweight materials like carbon fiber and aluminum throughout the body panels not only improves performance but also makes the Boss 429 feel more agile than ever before. The 20-inch forged alloy wheels come wrapped in high-performance Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, and behind them sit massive 6-piston Brembo brakes that mean business. Around back, the design is pure aggression. Quad exhaust tips, a functional rear diffuser, and a carbon fiber spoiler that's both aesthetic and functional. Every vent, curve, and line serves a purpose, to make this Mustang slice through air with authority. Now step inside, and things get even more impressive. The 2026 Boss 429's interior is where Ford has made some of its biggest leaps forward. You're greeted by a driver-focused cockpit that feels equal parts race car and luxury GT. The seats are Recaro sport buckets wrapped in premium leather and Alcantara, with contrast stitching that matches the exterior color accents. They're supportive yet surprisingly comfortable for long drives. The flat-bottom steering wheel feels fantastic in your hands, trimmed in suede with integrated drive mode. Selectors and paddle shifters that fall perfectly at your fingertips. The digital instrument cluster has been completely redesigned for the 2026 model. It's a customizable 13.2-inch screen that changes layout depending on your driving mode, from a clean, minimalist setup in comfort mode to a performance-focused display in track mode, showing real-time G-forces, tire temps, and lap times. The center console features Ford's new Sync 5 infotainment system with a 15.5-inch touchscreen that supports wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and over-the-air updates. The user interface is crisp and intuitive, and even though the car feels every bit a high-performance machine, Ford hasn't forgotten about comfort and convenience. You get a Bang & Olufsen 12-speaker premium sound system, wireless charging, ambient lighting, and plenty of soft-touch materials throughout the cabin. One detail Mustang purists will love: there's still a proper manual transmission option. Ford knows its audience, and even though there's also a lightning-fast 8-speed dual-clutch automatic available, true enthusiasts will gravitate toward the 6-speed manual for that pure connection between man, machine, and road. It's a small thing in today's world of paddle-shift dominance, but it makes a huge difference for driving enjoyment. All right, let's talk about what everyone really wants to know: performance. Under that sculpted hood sits the heart of the beast, a re-engineered 7.0-liter V8 engine, naturally aspirated but enhanced with Ford's latest performance tech. It's hand-built and tuned to produce a jaw-dropping 750 horsepower and 680 pound-feet of torque. Yes, you heard that right. Naturally aspirated. No turbo, no supercharger, just pure displacement and precision engineering. Ford's engineers have managed to extract this power while maintaining a beautifully linear throttle response, giving you that old-school muscle feel with modern refinement. The Boss 429 rockets from 0 to 60 mph in just about 3.4 seconds and can push well past 200 mph on the top end. But what's really remarkable is how it handles. Thanks to an adaptive MagneRide suspension system, the car automatically adjusts damping on the fly, giving you comfort when you're cruising and razor-sharp control when you hit the track. The steering is incredibly responsive, with excellent feedback, and the chassis balance feels spot on. This isn't just a straight-line monster anymore, it's a corner carver. Ford's track mode introduces launch control, line lock, and a new Boss mode that optimizes throttle mapping, suspension stiffness, and traction control for the most aggressive performance possible. When engaged, it even opens up a more ferocious exhaust note, that deep, throaty growl that reminds you this is still a V8 Mustang at heart. The exhaust system itself is fully active, with adjustable valves allowing you to switch between quiet, normal, sport, and track sound profiles. In track mode, it's downright feral, the kind of sound that sends shivers down your spine and turns every head within a mile. Now, despite its raw performance, Ford has packed the Boss 429 with an array of safety and driver assist technologies. You'll find adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, lane keeping assist, and even a forward collision mitigation system. The car also features an advanced traction management system that allows you to tailor how much electronic assistance you want, perfect for both new drivers and experienced racers. Fuel efficiency? Let's be real, this isn't what you buy a Boss 429 for. But surprisingly, Ford has implemented cylinder deactivation and hybrid assist technology that allows the car to run on 4 cylinders during light cruising. So, while it's no economy car, it's at least a bit more efficient than you'd expect from a 7.0-liter V8. As for pricing, Ford hasn't gone crazy, though this level of performance and exclusivity doesn't come cheap. The 2026 Boss 429 starts at around $115,000 for the base model, while the fully loaded track package version can climb up to around $135,000. That includes carbon ceramic brakes, lighter wheels, a more aggressive aero kit, and some weight-saving measures. Production will be limited, which means this will definitely become a collector's car down the road. So what's the verdict? The 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429 is a perfect blend of heritage and high-tech evolution. It honors its legendary past with a big, naturally aspirated V8 and muscular design, while embracing the future with cutting-edge tech, refined handling, and modern amenities. It's a car built not just to look good or sound mean, it's built to be driven, pushed, and experienced. If you're a Mustang fan, this is the dream machine. If you're a performance enthusiast, it's proof that the muscle car isn't dead. It's just evolved. And if you're someone who appreciates the art of automotive engineering, the Boss 429 is a masterpiece in motion. Thanks for watching MVP Road Car. If you enjoyed this detailed review of the 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the world's hottest performance cars, and tell me in the comments, would you pick this over a Dodge Challenger Demon 170 or a Chevy Camaro ZL11 1LE? Until next time, keep your foot down and your heart racing.